Hello, I'm Annie Wimbish, Superintendent of Hattiesburg Public School District. And as we near the end of the year, assessments become even more important and becomes a big focus for the students and for the teachers. We use the assessments, the results of the assessments, to help us to determine what students have learned after being in school for a year and to look at how well we have been providing the instruction. And we use that information to determine the strengths and the weaknesses that we have for students and for staff and how we can become better instructional leaders and help our students become better. Parents, community members, and local organizations can help our children be better learners and help our children do a better job on the assessments in a number of ways. Here are just a few tips that you may like to consider in helping our students become better. Tip number 1, get to know your child's teacher. Dr. James Comer says that no significant learning takes place without significant relationships. By building a relationship with the teacher and you, the parent, can be more alerted to any specific concerns that the child may have. So build those relationships with your child's teacher. Tip number 2, make sure that your child gets plenty of rest. When your child is tired, they can't function at their very best. And tip number 3, if your child eats breakfast at school because he or she needs to have a good breakfast, make sure they get to school early enough so that they can get in and get their breakfast and get to class on time so that they won't miss part of the learning. Tip number 4, make sure your child has a quiet place to study, a place that's free from distractions such as TV, radio, and outside noises. And also, if it's a younger child, help them with their homework or offer to assist them wherever possible so that they can develop some good study habits. If you have an older child, you may want to do some practice questions with them. Ask them questions, create some questions, have them to make up some questions, and you become the student, or they become the student, or they become the teacher, or you become the teacher. Share in that learning experience with them. Tip number 5. When the big tests are coming, big tests such as the MCT2 or SATP or the ACT, form a large study group either at your community center or in your neighborhood or at your church so that students can get together and share ideas. Tip number 6, be aware of the test dates and try to schedule appointments around those dates. You can find the dates on the website, or call your teacher, or call the school, call central office, and we will gladly help you be informed of those dates. But schedule your appointments around those dates. And finally, tip number 7, make sure that your child knows that you value education, and then encourage them to always give their very best. Now, with these tips in mind, you can help your child to be a high achiever, not just on the test, but a high achiever in life, because that's our goal, to help today's learners become tomorrow's leaders.